It started when Jesus was born. That's right. Easter starts at Christmas time. And no, you don't get to search for more Easter candy at Christmas. We are going to read the part of the story that actually starts on Palm Sunday, and that was yesterday. And then it goes all week until Easter Sunday. And not only do you get to hear the story, but there are some activity pages your parents should have received for you to do when today's story time is done. So please take your places, make sure you're good and comfy, and get ready. If you have questions before, during, or after the story, be sure to ask your mom or dad or grandparents. They're really smart and they know how and where to get to the answers. So, in just a moment, we'll start. All right, well, our story opens with Jesus and his friends traveling to Jerusalem for the big celebration called Passover. Now, this was an important time of the year for all the Jewish people. See, they were celebrating God bringing them out of Egypt. God had saved them from death, thereby having the spirit of death pass by their homes. So every year they had a big celebration in the temple where everyone was expected to attend. But for Jesus, this time was different. Jesus knew that it was finally time for him to finish the work that God had sent him to earth for. That's right, you guessed it, to save everyone. Now the people around the countryside knew that Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem and that Jesus had a mission there. The people became very, very excited. And there were stories going around the country that Jesus was the Messiah, the triumphant king. So when Jesus sent his friends ahead to find him a donkey to ride into Jerusalem, they had no problem finding him a donkey. They brought the donkey to Jesus. They covered it with clothes and put Jesus on it to ride in comfort. As Jesus rode towards Jerusalem, people from around the area began to gather by the road. Some waved palm branches and some placed the branches on the road in front of Jesus. And the people shouted, "Hosanna, Hosanna to the King! Hosanna to the Son of David!" Let's shout that together. Ready? Set? Hosanna! Hosanna to the King! Hosanna to the Son of David! Spectacular! You guys did a good job. But the story continues. As Jesus went along, he came to the top of a hill before Jerusalem. He stopped and he looked at the city. It was a beautiful city. Busy people going every direction. And Jesus knew that what he was to do while he was there was so important that it was going to cost him everything. Jesus knew that he was going to save these people. But to do it, Jesus had to die. Jesus cried. And while Jesus was traveling into Jerusalem, some of his disciples went ahead into the city to find home for Jesus and the group to celebrate the Passover. They found a really nice place. It was an upper room in a house. It would be cozy, and there they could eat and sleep and worship and hang out before they were going to the temple. While some of the disciples were looking for the place to stay, Jesus and the rest decided to go to the temple to see what was happening. The temple was the center of all activity in Jerusalem. But more importantly, it was God's home on earth. Like our church is God's house. It was a very, very, very special place. People were supposed to respect it and behave like God was standing there with them. But can you guess what Jesus saw when he got there? He saw people being treated unfairly. Some of those business people that were in the temple were cheaters and did not do things fairly. Jesus saw the dirt and the filth from the animals and was upset that people would do that to God's house. You don't get to come into your mom or grandma's home with your dirty clothes and boots to walk on the furniture or to drag animals in. Jesus was angry. He chased all the people and animals out of the temple. See, he had warned them to treat the temple with respect. They didn't listen. So now Jesus was cleaning house. And what do you think happened next? Do you think that the people were happy with Jesus? Do you think the people were happy with Jesus chasing them out of the temple? You're right. They were pretty upset and decided that they needed to find a way to get back at Jesus. Jesus was becoming very well liked by the people, the poor people, because he cared for them. Jesus always made the leaders look silly and dumb. Not a good thing for Jesus, as we'll soon see. So tomorrow, we will look at the rest of the story, or the next part of the story. We're going to look at the 30 pieces of silver. So thank you for being so good and listening. Now we're going to pray the Lord's Prayer. So please put your hands together and join me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. You guys do that so well. So thank you for being so good. God bless you and your family. And until tomorrow then,